Hello, everyone. This is Kwavi. Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Over 50. And I have my dear friend as my fabulous guest today. Are you guys hearing there? Like, there are planes. I'm near an airbase. So interesting. But anyway, the show must go on. I have my fabulous friend today as my guest, Lynne McDonald. Yay! All right, Lynne. So this is always my first question to all my guests. How old are you?
I am going to say for the first time, it's not actually going to happen for a minute, but I will be 54 in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So right now you're
I
53.
made it.
That's right. 68 in the house. Woohoo! All right. So, Lynne, you have a really interesting story, and I want us to kind of touch on that first. And as you can see, if you're watching this, you can see a beautiful painting right behind Lynne. So, yes, which has like my colors. I love the turquoise and all
Yeah,
of that.
that's in honor of you.
Thank you, darling. Appreciate that. So, tell us about your journey with that.
Okay, so I've always been creative and again, kind of thinking outside the box,
Yeah.
but I never picked up a paintbrush or thought that I was artistic. I thought I was creative. I didn't think I was artistic
Okay.
until about and then I did high-tech startups for a long time, and so
Yes.
that was really thrilling because it was a group of people in Silicon Valley and then in Georgia, and I would and that got a lot of my creative juices going, and it was an outlet for me.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Montreal, so it's actually before I moved to Montreal, I had a nagging vision, and I kind of thought that the universe was saying, or that I was tapping into something I should be looking for.
Mm.
And so I would look everywhere for it and I never saw it. And so I went to a friend's house. He had just bought this new house and decorated it. And there was these huge vaulted ceilings with these massive, very bright, colorful, abstract paintings of his very successful cousin. And
Yes.
I looked at them and I said, I could do that. Which is,
How
I
old
know
were
it's
you when you
so,
did that? How old were you when you said that? Do you know?
that was about 36 or 7. I think I was
Okay.
37. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And what did
and
they say when
it's
you said
so
that?
so nice. I said it in my head. There's no
Oh,
way I
okay.
would say it out loud to him because he spent a fortune on those. But it's so naive and it's so, arrogant or just naive. We'll say naive.
Naive. We'll do with
But it's just enough naivete to make me go do it.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes it's a good thing. So anyway, I went to the store. I left his place, went to the art store. So I had the nagging image for about 9 months.
Wow.
And I am a believer that the universe gives you something, you act on it. I'm getting
That's
goosebumps
it.
even saying
I
it.
agree.
You
I
need to
agree.
act on it, because if you don't, then the universe goes, okay, well, we're not going
What
to
were
give
you
you
doing?
another
Like,
one.
what's up?
Yeah. So I went to the art supply store and they were closing. I had about 5-10 minutes to pick, and I didn't get a small canvas. I got this massive canvas,
I
3
love it.
things of paint, because I thought, oh, I'll just blend them. I had no idea, right? And then and one paintbrush. I didn't even have an easel. I went home and put it in my kitchen on my wall and painted it there. Took me about 4 days to get some semblance of my image out there. And then I had him over to look at it and his mouth dropped and he was like, annoyed. And I thought, I'm never doing this again.
Why?
Because quit while you're ahead.
Oh,
I thought it was a fluke. I thought that it had nothing to do with me. I think I went a little bit
wow.
far on the
Interesting.
gift from the universe, thinking, oh,
Wow.
that was something else. That wasn't me.
Wow.
Because I just did, so then I had my son moved away to
Yeah.
Montreal, and then came back, and that's when I started, I am so grateful for social media, because I started posting these things that I was doodling. I was just kind of
And
experimenting.
how old were you now at this point?
So at that point, I was about 40. It was a decade later. I
Yeah.
was about
Okay.
47, and
Yeah.
I was Kind of, I was going through a very nasty divorce. I had gone through a nasty divorce, and kind of picking myself up, and I couldn't go back to the industry that I was in before, because I was I was the primary and for my son, and I would have been traveling a lot if I gone back to that. So and my ex was in another state, so I was like, well, what am I gonna do? It wasn't quite that clear of a decision, as you know. Because when I met you, I was still trying to be everything, because that is part
I
of
remember you were doing the health coach thing, and there was something else you would,
writer, I'm a this, I'm a that, and I remember in the best self thing, I was like, what do I write? Like, who you're supposed to have that as what you are. And I was like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. And so you've been very helpful with that in kind of reeling me in. And I think that staying in your lane and exploring that completely. So in 2020, I went full time.
And 2020, you were, at that point, you were 51, 51, because your birthday's at the end of the year. So 51.
Yes. Right. So I was 51, and I was leaping off a cliff in the middle
of,
it
was COVID.
in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah. It was like, I had everything because I was so scared. I had created, my calendar for the year and all these events through the year, and had to shut everything down. And, another time that social media really came through for me is when I started doing lives, and just, I had all this support. It was amazing.
And now this is what you do full time. And you started this when you were 51.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, my life changed at 50. And there's so many things that happen with your body at 50 and with your,
tell me about it.
Yeah. And then on top of that, there's this other shift that goes on. And I'm reading a book called Being Mortal right now. It's really amazing, talking about things that we don't talk about. And I think it's really important that you're having these conversations. And I see these very cool older, I don't want to say older, but older women doing really cool stuff on fashion and everything on social media. I love it. There isn't one thing that you have to be. You don't have to wear frumpy stuff, and
you can wear whatever you want, for real though.
And you don't have to be a size 0 to do it.
Doesn't matter. You can wear what you feel. It doesn't matter, and rock it. And
there's so many different versions of beauty.
That's the thing. It's like, it's not a one size fits all. And we have to let go of that whole image. It doesn't exist, like, really,
If I had this confidence back when I was 20, with the things I would have done.
But it's okay. But you know what? I think it's timely. It's perfect timing right now. It's like, this is what we need to come into ourselves. And the reason why I'm having conversations like this is there are still some women who still feel that, life is over at 50, that they can't go after their dreams, that it's too late for them. And that's why I'm having conversations like this. You started it at 51 and you are doing amazing. Her shows are just sold out. It's just a fabulous event. And you are selling them. It's not like, oh, I'm doing this as a hobby.
I am raising.
You're making bank.
I'm raising my son. He wanted to get these Nikes. Okay, so let me tell you the story.
Yes, please do.
When I was little, when my mom got divorced, we were having some financial. It was during a recession and everything, and so there were these Nike tennis shoes that I wanted so badly, and we couldn't. So this was kind of like one of my I don't know. I knew I made it win kind of thing.
Yes.
I could buy these Nike because Marshall wants that. You know how expensive tennis shoes are.
Yes, of course. I know. I have boys. I know they're expensive.
He wanted some Nike tennis shoes, and these were very expensive. And it was like, I can do this.
Yes. Isn't that a great feeling though?
Yes. And I don't need any man to come and rescue me. Now I'm a single woman. I've got 2 houses. I'm not acting like that's an extravagant thing. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Taking care of yourself, basically.
And I've got a rental, and I've got my 401k, or I've got my IRA. I've got
you're taking care of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and something you should be proud of that you did that. you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love that story about, yeah, okay, he wanted that. I did. Okay, I could do that. Let's go.
Right. Right. And we're starting to travel too, and that's exciting now that the pandemic's, like calmed down.
Yes,
And
yes.
so yeah, I've got a whole life now that I have to pinch myself for with, on occasion, because it surprises me.
Yeah. And this was all self-taught, right? The
Yeah. Oh yeah.
artistry.
Totally. Totally. I have done that before with different things where I get
Mm,
interested in thing, and I will go down that rabbit hole
yeah.
and teach myself or something.
Yeah.
But I think that staying with it and creating a business out of it and doing the things that are uncomfortable is this stage of my life.
You know what you just said is the key. Like, for all the people listening, if you want to thrive in this next chapter, get ready to be uncomfortable. Like, that is the key right there. If you allow yourself to feel that, you're going to be good. You're going to be okay. Like,
Right.
seriously.
Yeah. I think that I come to life with a different perspective now, that this is a gift. And, I think in religion, and when you're younger, you think that heaven is this place that we're going to go to.
Mhm.
And I think for me, my
Yeah.
perspective and my philosophy is that this is such a gift. Like,
Mhm.
maybe not heaven, but this is a gift that I want to experience completely.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you want to be all in. And this is the thing, like, some people, I really believe there are some people that are living, it's almost like they're sleepwalking through life. So they're already dead, but they're not dead physically.
Right? They're
And
just
I want women to wake up because
Mhm.
there are so many opportunities available. Like you said, this is a gift. Like, why don't you want to be all in your life?
Mm.
No one else can experience life for you. And so I love how you just said that, like, yeah, you're
And
just
I'm not
all
I'm
in.
not always, 100%. I
None
mean,
of us are, like, seriously.
right. I don't want to sound like, oh, I get up every morning and I'm like kidding, no. I think that feeling sad is a gift. Feeling,
Yes.
feeling blue is a gift, and to feel it completely, because when you're not in this body, you won't have that perspective.
And that is so true.
Mhm.
Feel everything. Like, feeling everything is part of it, and not trying to, because sometimes what we do is when those negative emotions come up, we're like, oh no, I don't want to feel it. That's part of the human experience. Feel it
Yes.
all.
Yes. And love completely, and
Yes.
don't fear, like you're not supposed to be this or that, or you're supposed to go take on the world.
Mm.
This is a beautiful thing, like feeling sadness, or that you miss somebody, or that you
Yeah.
don't feel like getting out of bed, or you're
And that's
struggling,
okay.
whatever. It's all a
It's
gift,
all
and
part of it.
totally
Yeah.
embrace that.
So for you though, so now that we've talked about the work you do as an artist, with regards to getting older, how has that been for you?
Well, I've been diabetic for type 1 diabetic since I was
Mhm.
19. So that's a little bit
Mhm.
late for diabetics. So,
Yeah.
but still, that's a long time. And
Mm.
I'm feeling it, like the whole
Mm.
endocrine system is a very fine, balanced system. And so, having my pancreas off throws everything off. And then
Right.
having one autoimmune disease, kind of the other ones can oftentimes tack on. So I've
Mm.
got celiac now. I feel like I've got some arthritis. I'm
Mm.
changing my diet. I mean, there's so many women that are going through Hashimoto's and all of these
Yes. True.
hair loss and all of it. I'm doing all of that. It's happening at an accelerated rate. My eyesight isn't as good. I've got to deal with degeneration from diabetes, nerve degeneration, things like this. I am just trying to, I feel like you said something earlier where people are just kind of like waiting and falling asleep on life. And I don't want to squander away a moment,
Yeah.
because it might be even shorter. You look at 50 and you think that's like midlife. Well, that's not really what's happening with people. Well, that's not the life expectancy. I like that for you, maybe. But I mean, realistically, this is what this being mortal is making me think of, is
Yeah.
that, okay, realistically, 30 maybe years. And so
But that's still a long time though. Think
I
about that.
want
30 years. Oh
to,
my goodness.
yes.
You can
And
start a
I'm
whole new career.
right. And I'm single. So I want to,
For
I want
now.
Yeah, I want to fight and fall, and I want to like have it be big, all the big.
Yes.
It's different being single at 54,
Yeah.
53,
Yeah.
54. You know, it's I have a lot of my girlfriends are younger and
Mhm.
gorgeous, and you've talked about it being invisible.
Yeah.
And I don't command
Mhm.
the same kind of attention
Yeah.
that I once did. And it's just an interesting thing.
I
It
like that. It's just interesting, right?
is really interesting. I'm often, observing like, wow,
What's going
this is
on?
weird. I
But I
can't.
also think that the but I
Yeah,
can say one, but I'm sure the dating experience must be kind of interesting too, though.
it is. Well, all of the things that I thought when I was younger
Mhm.
about older women, like if I dated a guy that was older,
Mhm.
and I would look at that and be like, why is she's just upset for no reason, And I understand it now. I understand
Yeah.
that a woman at 60 is not going to go date a guy 20 years older. I mean, it's, like she's not going to go, a woman at 60 is not going to go date a guy that's a whole lot younger. It's just not, it's not the same.
Well, you can though. So
A
you
guy,
wouldn't consider that though? Would you do that though? So you wouldn't? Would you be open to dating someone younger for
I,
you?
my old
Okay.
boyfriend was 12 years younger, and that was fun. And he
Oh,
was,
okay.
I respect him so much. What an
Oh,
intelligent, lovely human being. But I think that I don't know. Typically, I go out with older men,
mm.
and so that's something different because
Yes.
they're older, and and they can get younger.
Yes. True. Yeah.
So they're a little bit, and I read this too, that older men often, more often, think
Mhm.
that when a woman talks to them, they think that they're hitting on them. So they have this like blind confidence.
Really? Oh my goodness. That's funny.
So be careful. So they have a little bit of confidence. They're in their king stage, and
Yeah.
they think that, and that they usually have
Interesting.
more financially settled and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. They're not trying to set up their castle. They've already established themselves, and they can attract a younger woman.
Yeah.
Um, and that is attractive to a younger woman. He's
Yeah.
settled and confident and all of that.
Yeah.
So I find myself kind of in a different area where
Yeah.
I'm not the hottest girl in the room. It's different. It's
It's
different.
different. I think it's just different. And
Mhm.
then also too, for you, there are different things that you want now. Like
Absolutely.
it's what
I
you want in a partner is very different from what you wanted when you were younger. So,
Right. I want somebody secure and that realizes my independence. It does
mhm.
not have any bearing on them.
And doesn't feel threatened by it because I think that could be
Exactly.
huge
And
issue.
and can deal with all my quirks and idiosyncrasies. I am a
Yeah.
night owl. I think in this stage of your life, you kind of know yourself and you feel
Yes.
comfortable with yourself. And I just want him to be cool with it.
Yeah.
You know, that's all.
That's interesting. So in terms of, I know you kind of talked about the diabetes, but for you though, in terms of mentally, how did you deal with getting older? Was it like, okay, we're just gonna go into this, let's go? Or was it like, all right, I don't know about this? Like, what was your take on that?
It was fine until 51. Everything was fine.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. So
And
what
then
happened at 51?
I started seeing, so I have great genes. My mom is 84, my dad is 90. They look very young for their age.
Love it. Wow.
Thank God. And my sister looks super young. She looks my age. She's 6 years older, um, or younger than I do. But so I don't think that I was really realizing my age until I
Mm,
was 51, and I would look in the mirror and things were, menopause and everything. It was kind of wearing on me or showing on me in a way that it hadn't before.
before, yeah.
You feel this thing, you go through this thing. I don't know if you have because you're superwoman, but
Not by any stretch, but that's okay. I'll take that. I'll take that title, but not really.
yeah, so I think that there's this thing that happens, or this realization that I went through, that I am never going to be that you have these little tree branches that go off and go, oh, I'm going to be a bodybuilder one day. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to learn how to ice skate and do a
Yeah.
flip. You have these things. And at 51, I went, I'm not going to do that. I am never going to be able to, even if I wanted to go get in the gym right now and be that bodybuilder, I'm not equipped anymore.
Yeah.
So that was a realization. I'm not going to go get my PhD. I'm not,
Okay, but I'm going to stop you right there. You could if you wanted
example.
to, though, but you don't want to.
Example.
Is that what it is? You don't want to, right? Because you
I
could get your PhD. Exactly. So that's it. So let's rephrase that. Yeah.
But I, like I did become an artist, and I did.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that you can do that you realize that you can go, attack it.
Yeah.
And then there's other ones that have to do with more of your physicality.
Okay. And for you, is it because of diabetes you're saying that? Because you could still work out and lift weights and do all that, right?
I don't think you'd ever see my abs. I don't think so. I haven't worked out like that fiercely in so long. I guess it's the likelihood of that is so slim that I'm letting that one go.
You're letting that one go. Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to go backpack across Europe again. I did that in my 20s. I always thought I'll go back and see the rest of it in that way.
In that way.
And it's not going to happen.
You're like, no, if I go, it's going to be in a very different way.
Yes.
The backpacking style. Yes.
I like the way I go now. I'm fine with that.
Nice hotel, none of that, like slapping all over. Yeah, you were not doing that.
And do you remember dolphin shorts?
No.
Dolphin shorts were these, I think you see runners wear them. They're these tiny little shorts. They look like, they're just really small.
Yeah, I think I know the ones you're talking about. Runners typically wear them. Yeah.
Yes. And I always imagined being able to get my legs toned enough to where I could wear those. And that's just not going to happen.
Okay. So this is the thing though. You do know that you can wear them right now.
I can wear them right now. I choose not to show I don't want to scare the children. No.
You will not scare the children, but I guess that's your thought that you will, but you won't.
But you know what? I just dress differently now. I think that I still do okay, and I'm holding my own. Like I'm.
Yes, you are. You're very fashionable. Let's not, don't downplay that.
I don't wear. I'm not going to wear mini skirts without tights. I'm going to wear Spanx. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's okay. You do what you have to do, to make you feel great. And that's fine.
Right. Yeah. You just bras are different now, that it's just, and I'm okay with all of it. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm just happy. I'm just so happy to be here. I think when you start going down that path of the things that could have been, I think that it's important to stop and go, wait a minute. I'm really glad that I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm so fortunate to have a 14-year-old son when I thought that I had several miscarriages. I didn't think that I was going to have a child, and a fantastic kid.
Yes, you do.
Every minute with him, I cherish.
Yeah. And I think the other thing, sometimes when we go down that road of, I wish I should have, I think it's a great time to also kind of step back and look at all the amazing things you've done. Because sometimes we forget that. And when you start to listen, you're like, oh my goodness, I did this and I did that. And it just kind of brings you back to that place of gratitude as opposed to thinking, oh, what didn't I do?
Right. Yeah. I think for me, I can start criticizing. I can say, because
we can all do that all day. Seriously.
I start telling me, talking about what I have done. I think it's good to have a running list.
Yes.
You can go down, what have I done? I haven't done anything. I suck.
I know. Yeah. It's so easy for us to do that.
Yeah. So I think
like that idea.
Read somewhere to do that, to have a running list.
Yes. I like that running list, so that when you feel like, you're like, okay, let me go look. Oh, okay. I did this, this, and it makes you feel better.
It's kind of like that, when you have a map and you put a pin in it, all the places you've been in your life.
Yes.
Running list out there that says all of these things that you've done.
Love that idea. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. And that way you don't have to wait for other people to validate you. You just see and you're like, oh, I did that. I did all those things.
Right. Yeah. Like a little resume.
Yeah, see, this is what I tell women all the time. I'm like, when I ask them the question, what do you love about yourself? Name a
Mhm.
few things. It's always a struggle. And I tell them, okay, think about it as your resume. When you build a resume, you put your best facts out there. Just think about, and then they're able to think. But when you don't put it in the form of a resume, they're like, oh, I don't know anything. That I'm like, yes, you do. So
Yeah.
you're right. The resume, when they think about resume, it actually works.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you, Lynn, for being here. Really, really appreciate you spending the time. And I'm going to put the links to her work because I'm sure some of you are interested in seeing her artwork. So I'm going to put that down below and you'll be able to see it. All right. Thank you, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care. Thank you so much for watching an episode of 50 Shades of Over 50. I invite you to join our online community called Flourish, a community created exclusively for women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. A place where you'll get to pursue your passion and live your purpose with other like-minded women. If you're not sure what your purpose or passion is, not to worry. I share tools to help you with that. Flourish is the best place to learn, grow, and have fun if you're in your 50s and beyond. Go to www.kwavi.tv/flourish to learn more.